Hey there, friends and foes, all you Patreon subscribers. Welcome to a very special Patreon exclusive show, my review of the 1987 G.I. Joe, the movie. This is part of our Saturday matinee movie series, the movies that you saw curled up in the living room with a blanket on the floor, in your beanbag chair, or pillows stacked around you, and eating cereal or popcorn, and Saturday afternoons, or maybe you jumped on your bike and you went and saw a matinee in the theater like I used to. But regardless, this is an animated movie that fits the bill. Now, tail of the tape. This was originally slated to release before Transformers the movie. However, there were production delays. This is produced by Marvel Studios and Sunbow Animation, and it was a 96-minute movie that was intentionally or originally intended to be a theatrical release, but it was delayed. And after the less than stellar reactions, box office reception to Transformers the movie and the My Little Pony movie, Marvel and Sunbow decided to make it a direct-to-video and broadcast TV release. So this actually aired on television as a 5-part story, as a continuation of the animated series. Stars Don Johnson as Lieutenant Falcon and Burgess Meredith as Globulus. And all right, so I watched this. I just FYI, G.I. Joe the movie. I watched this and I had never seen the movie. I was a fan of the daily animated series, and these are the characters that I thought this movie was going to be about. The regular cast of G.I. Joe, the characters that I know and love. But it wasn't. It was about Lieutenant Falcon and Sergeant Slaughter's recruits. It was about Beachhead's new recruits, and this guy, Lieutenant Falcon, who couldn't take orders, couldn't follow orders, and he was sent to the slaughterhouse to train under Sergeant Slaughter. Yes, that Sergeant Slaughter from the WWE, and he appears as himself. He is apparently the G.I. Joe's special drill instructor, and he's got an island training camp called the Slaughterhouse. The main villains, of course, were Cobra, and these are the Dreadnoks and Dr. Mindbender and Storm Shadow, who I don't remember seeing at all in this movie. But the real conflict comes when Serpentor overthrew Cobra Commander at the direction of Globulus, who was the leader of Cobra Law, a secret paradise for the Cobras in the Arctic Circle. And, the rest of the Cobras turn on Cobra Commander, and they go along with the plan that Globulus has to spread these mutagen spores that are going to turn everyone into mutated Cobra monsters. And this is actually Cobra Commander being rescued by Roadblock. And as the mutagen works, it transforms him into a snake completely. And yet, somehow, everyone knew that the snake was Cobra Commander, even though they hadn't been there to see him trick. All right. So, guys, my thoughts on this movie. Watching this movie, I felt like I was watching a bunch of kids in the sandbox playing with their action figures, and just whatever they made up happened. I mean, the Cobra Commander, it turns out, was part of the Cobra Law Society civilization, and he was chosen, handpicked by Globulus to lead Cobra. But then, it didn't work out, and they created Serpentor to take his place. And Serpentor was apparently more susceptible to taking orders. And what's amazing to me is the plot of this story. Cobra and Serpentor, they are sent to steal the BET, the something energy transmitter, the big energy the BET. And the BET is built by the GI Joes, and it can transmit energy all across the world. It's going to be this global renaissance and make the world have free energy. But as it turns out, the BET can broadcast energy to these spores in space, cause them to bloom, and then rain down on the earth and transform everyone into a hideous mutant, except for the people in Cobra Law. And that includes the Cobra team, Zartan and Zarina and Baroness and Destro and Dr. Mindbender. And for whatever reason, they go along with this plan. This is going to destroy the earth. Destro he's motivated by profit. How does he profit from this? It amazes me that Cobra just goes along with this. And throughout the story, the Joes that we know and love, the team that is, superior to all other teams, they fail time and time again. They get captured. They're locked up. Duke, in the middle, he almost dies. And apparently, in the original script, he was supposed to die. But after the backlash from the Transformers movie, because Optimus Prime died and, Magnus died, and, he came back, but Optimus Prime died. And there was such a fan backlash that they went back and they altered the movie so that Duke survived off screen. But halfway through the movie, okay, so let me back up. This guy, Lieutenant Falcon, he's a womanizer. He's creepy. He's a predator. He's not a team player. His chops are busted, and he's busted down to basic training, special basic training. And halfway through the basic training, all of a sudden, it's revealed that he's Duke's half brother, and Duke had promised their mom that he would watch out for Falcon, but Duke's the one. You guys, this made my head hurt, because that should have been established up front. That should have been like a defining part of Falcon's character. No, we find that out later, after he's sent to Sergeant Slaughter's training camp. And then he has this weird relationship with the girl in red, Jinx. He's always coming on to her, trying to, he sexually assaults her. He slaps her butt. And she rebuffs. And then at the end, when they've saved the day, miraculously, Falcon and Jinx are up on a ridge together, and they kiss romantically. What? There were a couple of redeeming things about this movie. Um, First of all, Don Johnson plays the exact kind of character that you think he would play. I mean, I've always got that sense that Don Johnson was this swarmy womanizer predator. Well, here he is, playing to cast, playing to type. Um, but Burgess Meredith does the voice of Globulus, and holy cow, he did a great job. He had the right tone, the right timbre. He sounded great as the villain, and he did a good job. Although the villain's plot made no sense, he transforms, and I don't know. This movie just was not coherent. The animation was very uneven. I mean, very uneven. The opening sequence was okay. The new updated theme song was really good, even with the Cobra in the background. That was kind of fun. But Serpenter during the battle screaming Cobra la 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 la, it made, oh God bless America. I'm telling you, it was a bunch of boys in the sandbox just making the stuff up, and the writers wrote it down and put it in the movie. The vehicles didn't make any sense. The technology didn't make any sense. We didn't see Storm Shadow. We didn't see Snake Eyes. We didn't see Scarlet and Lady J be the badass chicks that they are. No, we got these guys, Chuckles and Tunnel Rat. I forget the basketball player's name, Jinx and MP. What? And these guys behind Lieutenant Falcon, I didn't even catch their names. They were so forgettable. And it's obvious from watching this movie that it was produced for one reason and one reason only: to produce new toys. They wanted to put out new action figures, so they created new characters, and the entire focus was on these new characters that nobody cares about. Nobody cared about these characters. The only one that was even remotely interesting was Jinx. She was a ninja that was trained by a blind master, and so she was at her best when she was blindfolded. And she, beats the I don't even know the character's name. I can't even remember this character's name. I don't have it in front of me. This woman, she's, like this super bad Cobra assassin from Cobra Law. And Jinx, the recruit, beats her. Not Scarlet, not Lady J, Jinx. Okay. You guys, I don't ever want to say something was bad or not worth watching, but I did not like this movie. I did not enjoy it. I kept watching it thinking, okay, it's going to get good. It's going to get better. The cover should have tipped everyone off because it's got Lieutenant Falcon, Sergeant Slaughter, and the other recruits, although it does have Duke and Lady J here. But I mean, Falcon was just a replacement for Duke or Hawk or Flint. They're all the same character. They're interchangeable. Why introduce a new one? Anyway, my thoughts on this movie were, it just wasn't very good. And if you have fond memories of this movie and of the TV series, hold on to those fond memories. Do not revisit this movie. Do not meet your idols. Remember this movie the way you remembered seeing it when you were a kid. Do not go back and revisit as an adult. Trust me on this, okay? Anyway, out of 5 bowls of cereal, I give this 1.5. I will never watch it again. I have no desire to watch it again. The only redeeming quality was Burgess Meredith's performance was brilliant. And, that's kind of like a hallmark of some of these really bad movies. The villains are really great, like in Flash Gordon and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And this one, Globulus, is great. But the rest of the movie, ugh. And did it succeed in selling more toys? No. I dare say not. If I'm wrong about that, correct me in the comments. But anyway, that's my review of G.I. Joe the movie from 1987. Now, what would I eat in the bowl while I'm watching this? I think this is definitely a life cereal movie. Maybe Frosted Flakes. But out of 5 bowls of cereal, this gets 1.5 tops. Now, if you love our show and you love what we're doing and you want to see us do more, drop a review. That tells us that you like what we're doing and you want to see more of it. You can support us at Patreon. We don't deserve your support, but it helps us out. Patreon.com/CerealBoxPodcast. If you love our show, drop $1, $2, $5, $10, so that we can buy a bowl of cereal, a box of cereal. If you hate the show, donate even more generously so that we can improve. And the best thing you can do is share our Patreon page, share our podcast, post a review, like, comment, and help us grow. And those don't cost you a dime. So again, that Patreon address is patreon.com/CerealBoxPodcast. Become a supporter and get cool exclusive content like this video, as well as Back Issue Breakfast Club, Wednesday Night Bites, and some other cool stuff on the way. Exclusive merch, sneak peeks, custom RSS feed just for you guys, audio only episodes just for patrons. And so we appreciate your support. Speaking of that support, our Cereal Box super friends include Eli Cash, Cindy Kep, Sharice Collins, and Dave Mattingly. And you too can have your name in lights. And in just a moment, we are going to be taken out by our awesome theme song performed by DL Memphis and the Murdering Crows. You can get their album at iTunes, Google, Amazon, anywhere you buy music. And of course, we want to thank our partner, Comic Books for Kids.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
All right, check them out, cb4k.org. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch ya on the back of the cereal box.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss,